know if,
So
Chief, if you
we're
want to
learning
weigh
some
in
information
more
here
about the
live from
weapon, but I
Providence.
don't
We
want
bring back
anyone to leave
Geraldo
this
Rivera,
world
who is
thinking
monitoring
that
this with
this
us
weapon
as
was a
well.
long gun, because
That, a couple things, Geraldo. There's two people now that they say they're looking for. The one, the person of interest, this other guy that was close enough to that person, where we actually don't know the gender. That was one of the questions that came up. But this other person who was near the person of interest, that close enough that they want to speak to that person. But there at the end, I thought it was interesting that the police chief seemed to indicate that the descriptions they're getting from witnesses match their person. So we'll see. Also, the other thing I would say is that there's still a lot of work to do here. For as much as they've told us, there's still a lot they don't know.
Also, what I found fascinating and kind of the mark of the times is the beware, the caution, don't get sucked in by AI on phony pictures of suspects. It's too easy now to manipulate those images. Just one thing I want to say, Connell, I have a feeling of fruitlessness, of frustration, of empty-handed. I'm sure that they know 1,000 times more than I do, but I just know for the record that Brown University campus is right almost on the cusp of where I-95 and I-195 meet. It's true. Leading to the endless interstate highway system, and who knows what else. The only other thing I would add is that the jacket that the person of interest was wearing was relatively unique. I'm reminded of the shoes, the sneakers that led to the arrest of the suspect in the January 6th bombing case. Could they do a search? I'm sure they have. How many of those jackets were sold? Where were they sold? Go through, have all of this massive manpower, go through every single receipt nationwide, find out, who bought these coats. If you bought it, if anybody bought it, maybe call. I don't want you to bring attention to yourself, but you know what I mean. We have to. We're grasping at straws here.
Yeah, we are.
It just doesn't seem. My vibe is it doesn't seem any closer to. It doesn't seem like they're closing in on anyone. It doesn't seem as if this investigation has advanced. Of course, they're enhancing these photos. One of the reporters mentioned facial recognition technology. They are masterful at it now. I'm sure that the computer whizzes at the FBI and elsewhere are turning on those big computers and going through all that recognition. If the Chinese can do it for 1,400,000,000 people, we can do it for the population of Providence, Rhode Island.
You would think. I don't know if we had enough footage. I mean, we have some, but we don't have enough in the building where the shooting itself took place. This is the guy they're looking for, but then they have the other guy who was near him. I thought that was interesting, too. They didn't say with this new picture, the person with the hood, if that person, spoke, this person spoke directly to the person of interest, just that they were close enough that they want to have some thoughts. And then if we go back to the tablet for a moment, the map, the other thing about this map that we've been looking at, and they brought this up at the news conference, this particular area, right in here, they have a perimeter set up in dark blue, but the area right in here seems to be the area of interest. It's, residential area, from what I understand, a combination of kind of Brown students off campus and families. But if you just look, there's a number of blocks where this person was kind of either pacing or walking, and that's the light blue lines. There, the red is where the person was seen after the shooting. But that doesn't tell me a ton, Geraldo. That just, the guy was walking around at 10 o'clock in the morning, shooting takes place at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But to your point, afterwards, you hop on I-95 and who knows where the person is.
That's absolutely true. It does seem, however, watching the pacing and the restlessness of the person of interest, that he was casing the joint. He or she was casing the joint. It's almost like we took a step backward when they asked the question on the gender of the perp. And
I think that was on the other person, to be honest with
answer.
you. The person who was near, the second person that came in contact. I think that was the gender question.
That's good. I think that's a good avenue to explore. Aside from Columbine, however, I cannot, and this maybe this the shooting in Bondi Beach in Australia. Usually, in these mass shooting incidents, it's very rare to have multiple perpetrators. Usually, it's a lone gunman, someone who's been simmering about real or perceived outrages in his life. It's almost invariably a man. You know, and acting out. It makes it much more serious if there's more than one person involved. It becomes then a conspiracy.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.